Before joining Lunacon Construction Group in 2019, Yvette Vasquez served as the administrative assistant of Kohl's department store for 8 years. A highly skilled individual with Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, time management, teamwork, and team building. Yvette has a demonstrated history of working in the retail industry and is now the administrative and talent management at Lunacon Construction Group. Today, Yvette joins us to share her journey and how her position helps Lunacon take an entrepreneurial mindset to succeed. Yvette, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Thank you for being here in the Thriving in Construction, the podcast.
I'm glad to be a participant.
Thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So we're going to talk about construction. And I know you're relatively new to the industry personally. I know you've had people in your family that have been in construction. So tell us about you. What's your background? What happened to you? Where were you before you entered into construction? And what are you doing today?
Well, my name is Yvette. I am in the construction industry. I got here 2 years ago, fairly new. Hold on. I can't.
She's like, I think Yvette is thinking like, what the hell? I'm in construction.
Like, are you serious?
Are you serious? This is true. I'm in construction. What do I do?
I have all these lights on me. You can't make it more real. No, definitely. I was in the retail industry for about 10 years. I started there from a seasonal cashier and grew into being an administrative manager as well. I started there. My seed was planted into construction back when I was in about 6th grade. I started doing wood shop and architecture, and I just liked the compassion to build and see what I could do, and things that I've gotten from a piece of scrap of wood that I developed it into a cabinet, or I did something to it. That's where my love for being hands-on in something throughout that time.
So you actually build, with your own hands?
Yes, I do. That's my hobby, spare time.
Really?
I like wood shop. Like
wood
the smell
shop.
of wood.
And how do you learn that?
I learned it in 6th grade. I took it as an elective, and it became a passion.
Really?
Yeah.
In middle school?
Middle school, yes.
Really?
Yes.
What school were you?
West Miami Middle School.
And they
wood
still
shop.
do it?
No, not anymore. They closed down the shop.
Really?
Yeah, it was always awesome.
So they had like a trade school?
Yes, they had a little small one. It was just one class. You picked that along with technology. So I definitely went into the wood shop area, and it was just cool, machinery and everything. That's how I got involved into it. And then throughout high school, I ended up choosing the same thing, wood shop and architecture. So then that teacher planted a seed into, why don't you get into the construction industry? Since you're good at this, you would thrive in that atmosphere.
And what happened? Did you follow that?
I did.
Well, you went to retail.
I went to retail because I became a single mother. Becoming a single mother, I ended up choosing what was the path, and that was at the moment what was the most convenient at the time for me and my son.
So you felt that construction was not for you in the moment because you became a single mom, and so you thought retail was going to accommodate your new life.
My new life, yes. It gave me flexibility. It did, because you know how they say that the industry is very demanding. So then I ended up just going seasonal. Like I said, it was a holiday season, and I just stuck there throughout 10
years.
Yes.
It amazes me how, and this is what I really would like to convey to people or women that want to enter this industry, and men also, obviously, we're not discriminating, that this is a teachable industry. You had this passion for construction, and you are in the retail space for 10 years. And then you enter into a construction company, into Lunacon. And I really have seen you flourish and grow. And tell me about your experience in a real construction industry. This is happening now.
Well, it's very real. It's very true. It's definitely been very rewarding with all the challenges and all the growth. It's an ever learning career. So it's, as I started out about a year ago, I didn't have any knowledge. I just took a leap of faith into what I thought would have been a successful. And sometimes you just have to take that leap into the next step and push forward in everything you want to do. So it became real once I came in. Honestly, didn't know the verbiage, didn't know a lot of the things, but I have seen myself flourish in the 2 years that I've been with Lunacon. So it's been an everlasting growth. It's been challenging, rewarding, in every aspect, in career-wise and personal life.
So what have you learned in the retail space? Because I'm a firm believer, there's everything you learn in life serves a purpose later on, regardless. So what have you learned in the retail space that you have been able to utilize that skill, and it has empowered you and allow you to grow in construction?
I think in the retail space, you learn a lot about customer service, and you learn a lot about giving to others, because at one moment, the customer is always right. So with the customer always being right, you always try to see how you help. You become resourceful on things that, how do you fix that situation? How do you fix that moment? How do you make that person's experience great for them to leave from your store? And that is something that I think we've translated, and it also works with your employees peer to peer. You become very, very servicing to your teammates, because you guys are trying to accomplish the same goal, have this customer leave with a good resemblance of the retail.
So now that you're in the construction industry, what do you see now that you're inside and you've experienced, right, in the role that you have? What's the role that you have, by the way?
I have talent/administrative manager.
Yvette, so now that you have experienced construction, what do you think construction is about?
Construction is about servicing others, servicing your clients, servicing your co-workers, your peers, and always being there for one another to push the team to make this accomplishment of the end project. So,
do you like the industry still?
I love the industry.
So what do you like about it the most?
What I love about it is the growth and the learning that you always have. There's always a new challenge every day. There's always a new obstacle to accomplish. There's always something that you want to get better at, and something where you could improve any aspects of the project, the office, anything. There's always some room to grow. You don't become just a schedule. It doesn't just become monotonous. You just push forward to something new, something amazing that at the end, you know, there's going to be an end product for you.
And keeping that in mind, that is constantly ever changing, is it possible to thrive in construction if you cannot adapt to change?
It'll be difficult, and you can cut your own growth if you do not adapt to change. So at the end of the day, change makes you stretch out to your new levels.
Excellent. And let me ask you, on that note, what 3 things should a person keep in mind in order to be able to adapt to change and thrive in the process?
It's always growing. It's growing, learning, taking your education. It doesn't have to be a college course. It doesn't have to be any of that. It could be a seminar. It could be a webinar. It could be anything that gives you value, that lets you add value. Always add value to where you want to go, where you want to accomplish. Always find a mentor. In construction, you find your mentors. You find those people that give you that push, that give you that belief. And I think that's one thing, getting a mentor and being confident in yourself that you could learn it.
So in order to adapt to change, you need to be confident.
Yes.
You want to have somebody that is mentoring you, that you can go to if you have run into challenges.
Of course, yes.
And you want to be growing so that when the opportunity shows up, you are prepared.
You're prepared to tackle that new challenge.
Is that what you do?
Yes.
Who's your mentor or mentors?
Mentors in the construction industry? It's my team. And I'll say it's you.
And Chris Cody.
Chris Cody. Exactly.
So you're learning from your team?
Yes.
Your team is mentoring you?
My team is mentoring. It's a group of people. It's an effort. And that's the beautiful thing about the construction industry.
What's the biggest learning that you've had from your team?
From my team is to be able to know, and if what you don't know, they're there to support you. That is the biggest blessing.
Your team?
Yes.
And how do you grow your team?
By building connections and communication and having that desire to help them and service them. And once you add value to them, they add value to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me about the talent management space.
The talent management space is endless. There's no glass ceiling to it. There's always ways to improve. It's always finding that right person for the right position and having them join the culture of a company. And the culture that we have built in Lunacon is the one of diversity, inclusion. It's everyone supporting each other and reaching out for that same goal at the end.
And tell me about women in the space. How do you think we contribute? A woman contributes to building that culture of contribution, of accountability.
I believe women are more nurturing. They're more empathetic. We have more listening skills. Not that we have more, it's just that it's something that comes natural to us. And we believe that we want to provide to our team. We want to service them. So having those skills always pertains into construction where we can grow. And it's always building teamwork. It's always having everyone together, reunited, and being able to push forward any projects or any milestones we want to accomplish.
So when you say being able to move forward and accomplish or overcome any milestone, what is necessary in order to do that, in your opinion?
For my opinion, is communication is key. It's having a goal, knowing where we're going and why we're trying to get there. And then it's making that vision known and making sure that everyone sees where is it that we're trying to accomplish and why it's important for us.
Share the vision, a why,
yes.
Understand the outcome, and being able to communicate.
Yes.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. What would you tell, now that you have experience, you've been a single woman and you have a beautiful son. I know him. He's amazing. And you've been able to overcome this challenge of life, right, at an early age. And you've done a beautiful job with him. I know he's your hero. So there's no denial on that. What has allowed you to, you're still a single mother, but you still went into construction 10 years later. What is different now?
It's being confident in myself. It's believing that I could do it and not having a glass ceiling into where there's nowhere else I can go. So knowing that the construction industry, there is no glass ceiling, that you have your ultimate potential and you could reach any milestones that you set your mind to, I think that's the beautiful thing in it. And I took the leap at the end of the day was because my son was already getting older, so that he didn't demand that much time at that moment, so that I was able to have more flexibilities with him.
How does he feel about you being in construction?
He's excited. He enjoys it. He definitely thinks I'm his superwoman, although he knows that he is my superman.
You're a superhero couple. I know. I mean, and he's right. You are a superwoman, and you make a lot of great things for other people, and you allow people in the space to be great also. So I know that about you, and I congratulate you for that. Your ability to work hard is what has gotten you to where you are. And I really, really believe people that are in the retail space, whether it is in sales, any area, that construction has open arms to receive anybody's skills, as long as you can work hard, right? And focus on that outcome. You can build teams. You can just push and persevere, right? And have the discipline. But what are you going to tell? You're speaking into existence, and you're speaking in front of a lot of younger women, and they are trying to decide what do I want to do? Where do you want to study? What do I want to do? What are you going to tell them?
I would tell them, believe in yourself. And the construction industry is, like I said, it's endless. It comes with challenges like any other degree. The construction industry gives you a sense of accomplishment. When you see something that is starting, even as a talent manager, you know that you have to hire that right person for that right project. And if that project is successful, it's because you placed a great candidate on there. And to decide if the construction industry, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because it is a male-dominated industry. Don't tell anybody that tells you can't do it because you're a single mother. Don't tell anybody to tell you that you can't do it because you won't have time or you have a family or anything. At the end of the day, everything is possible. It just depends on the priorities you put.
So we have in your company, in our company, we embraced a lot Microsoft Office, Microsoft Tools, Microsoft 365. Do you think that has been relevant to allowing people to, I don't kind of thrive, do more, plan more, be more efficient? Do you think that has been useful?
Yes. Any skill that you learn technology-wise is just expands your brain, and you can definitely adapt. All those skills are transferable into the construction industry. It's not just with those skills, they give you an open end to other skills that you can learn, and then you can adopt your skills to those skills just to make it better. So all those Microsoft Office, all those programs, they always come with a second growth to it. We could always.
So do you think the construction industry needs more women?
Yes, it does. I think we come with discipline. We come with the ability to reach our goals. We come with the ability to also nurture at the same time and build a teamwork and build the company. We always, wherever we go, we try to strive for the best because there's more expectations from us expected at this moment in the construction industry.
Do you think the construction industry is for every woman or a type of women that has certain qualities? And if that's the case, what are the qualities?
For me, it's open to every woman. I believe anybody could accomplish whatever goal they want to, no matter what stage in their lives they're at or what they need to grow in or what they need. But at the end of the day, you will need to be confident in your own space and your own ability to learn, to grow, and you have to have more. The communication at the end of the day is what makes you be successful. Because if you can't communicate, you won't be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. If you want to be in a leadership role, speak that you want to be in a leadership role. Always speak to what you want. And definitely any woman could join this industry and learn any skills, any transferable. You just have to have the desire and the will to grow.
Have you been in the shop, back to the shop again?
To the wood shop? I'm trying to get back in there. I have bought a few tools to get me back into that as a hobby.
What do you feel when you're doing this?
To me, it feels good. I'm building something. I'm creating something. I'm bringing something to life.
Do you relax when you're doing it? Is this a way of also relaxation, like mindfulness?
Yes, it is. It's peaceful. At that moment, it's just me and that machine, me and that piece of wood. It's me in that moment. I enjoy the moment. From the way you sand the wood to everything.
You know, Emilio, I think we should do like a wood shop competition or something. We should do something because he's really good with wood too. There's a lot of people that are. And that's something I would like to do a podcast, a live one where we're doing wood shop. That would be nice.
Oh, that would be awesome.
What's the nicest, piece of wood? What has been the nicest creation that you have done in wood?
My countertop. I made my countertop for my house.
For the kitchen?
For the kitchen, yes.
In wood?
In wood. I used zebra wood, cherry wood, and just built the whole thing.
And it came out
amazing.
I would love to see a picture.
It doesn't exist anymore.
What happened?
I took it out to fix it and it wasn't the way it was. But it definitely was my best piece of art.
Wow.
I won awards for that too.
You won an award?
Yeah.
Where?
With school. I did it well when I was in high school.
Really?
So I took it to a competition and I won first place.
But you have pictures, I'm sure.
Yes.
We want to see pictures.
Okay, definitely I will share.
Yeah, of course. I think I'm pretty much. Is there anything you want to ask me? Watch it. Watch it.
She even says, wait.
Watch it. He's like, revenge time.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Definitely. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Dating. Get it outside. I knew she was going to do this because she knows a lot about them. So, yes, yeah. But you know the answer to this?
But I want to hear it. Let the viewers hear.
You don't know what I told her. Where do I see myself in 10 years? I see myself impacting and creating change in the construction industry. I want to see an industry where there's less suffering, we're building people in the process of building buildings. I want to see an industry where there's less suicide or no suicide. I want to see an industry where people really can thrive because we're focusing on getting things done, not on arguing and pointless arguments. I want to see an industry that it's also focusing on the resources. We're not destroying people and we're not destroying our resources. We're more conscious of the people. And I say people because I believe there's no way of building anything without the human enterprise. I want to see an industry that everyone understands the value of a human in this process. And everyone understands that the resources around us are critical to what we do. And I believe when we take that into consideration, we're being more appreciative of what the universe has already given us. I think we build and we just focus on the transaction, on the building, but we're not focusing on building the person around. And if we allow ourselves to focus on building the person and building the human enterprise, what we can create is endless. I believe we will reduce a lot of the stress we have because we're empowering people in the process. I see myself creating change, making construction easier for people to come into the space. That's what I want to do.
All right, that's an awesome answer. Thank you.
Adding value, right?
Adding value.
And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself? I would be honest. I could grow and be in a leadership role, more leadership role than what I am now, the opportunities that I've gained in the last 2 years. But I do see myself running a firm completely, not just a portion, learning more skills, learning more departments, learning more of the whole construction industry as a whole, not just focus on the talent or just focused on the administrative. I see myself being more in a senior level role.
So who do you need to become?
I need to become the confident person. I need to become the person that believes in her own growth, the person that believes in her own success. At the end of the day, if I don't believe in it, then I will never achieve it.
In what areas? So you're really embracing the talent space and you're growing. And of course, there's so much more to learn, right? Like you said, learning is endless. You can always be so much better. But what other areas in the construction do you think you want to really master in order to get to that goal that you have in 10 years?
For me, it's the finance area, the finance of the construction, how it's done, the difference of how accounting in different spaces are to construction. Because once you learn the construction accounting, I feel like you can learn the life of the project and how it starts from the beginning to the end. And from there, then learn the estimating process, then learn the operations process, and then join all of them together and see how we can become successful and how we don't have to work harder, we just have to work smarter.
Right. What makes people work harder and not smarter? What is that people do that, in your opinion, you're just making yourself work harder or taking time to solve a problem? What is it that people do or what is it that we shouldn't do?
I think sometimes we focus more on the problem than finding the solution. And focusing on the problem just lets us be in the same cycle. And if we continue the same cycle, it doesn't give us that space to be able to be resourceful and to learn how to find a different way. There's always a different way. There's always a better way. There's always a better option. It's always about upgrading of what we already currently do.
Tell me about the pandemic.
The pandemic was interesting for me. It became challenging. It became a scare. And I know you probably saw it with me. I was paranoid with everything going on, what was going to happen, people in the office. But it was also rewarding. So now the good side about it, we shifted the company quickly to remote work.
In how long?
In a day. We literally shifted in a day. Everybody was successful. Everybody was set up. We transferred people to other offices, spread out. We made a schedule. We followed all the guidelines. And thankfully, nobody ever got affected.
Nobody, yeah?
Nobody.
Except me.
But that wasn't in the office, so.
That wasn't in the office, you're right. You're right. It's been a blessing. Nobody has been sick.
Nobody.
That's awesome. And a lot of it has been you, I have to say. I remember you did these plans and this person, and I mean, you were very creative. You almost wanted to have a cleaning company.
I did. I bought the tools.
You wanted us to become a cleaning company. Talking about resourceful, because we didn't know how much work we were going to have and how much we were needed to serve the client, because some clients, we had to do it. We had to request to go disinfect anything. Yeah. And we became resourceful. We had everything ready to go. Yes. Well, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your contribution to the construction industry. And thank you for being an example to your son, to many women out there, that it's possible, and anything that you want to do, you can do. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Continue to thrive. Of course.
Thank you for watching Thriving in Construction, the podcast with Patricia Bonilla. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to help support the podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. If you have any suggestions or any related topics you would like us to tackle in our future episodes, feel free to comment down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week here in Thriving in Construction, the podcast.